from our studios in New York City, it's the Martha Stewart Show. On today's show, are there things you've always wanted to know how to do but just never learned? Backed by popular demand, 20 more things everyone should know continues. With 2 essential kitchen techniques from renowned chef Michel Roux, plus the tricks to picking the freshest, ripest produce at the store. Next. Our show this week is dedicated to teaching you 20 more things everyone should know. And if you've missed any of these informative segments, you can visit our website, marthastewart.com, and and see all what we've done so far. The first lesson of today's show is how to select great produce. So many people go into the supermarkets and are faced with, 100 feet of produce. What is the best produce? How do you choose it? How do you test for ripeness for fruit and vegetables? So we sent our TV kitchen chef, Nora Singley, to the market to share with you some essential tips for choosing produce. And she didn't go to just any old market. She went to Fairway in Pelham, New York. Watch.
I'm here in Fairway Market, and I'm talking about one of the top 20 things that everyone should know: how to select produce. I'm picking out some of the best produce here for a salad that I know Martha loves. I love shopping here because there's tons of selection, incredibly high turnover, and I'm gonna buy with the seasons. Okay, let's start shopping. When you're shopping for produce, choose the bulk produce as opposed to already prepackaged produce so that you can hand select it yourself. So I'm making a farro salad with shaved raw Brussels sprouts. I love the look of these Brussels sprouts. The leaves are really compact, bright green. They feel heavy for their size. You don't want any wilting of the outer leaves, and the stem end isn't brown or discolored, which means that they've been cut from the stalk pretty recently. I'm also adding some radicchio. I like in particular how these are kind of small heads of radicchio. They're not overgrown and kind of light for their size. This head has really nice, crisp outer leaves. There's no browning. Use that as a guide when you're picking out whole heads of lettuce. I love fresh herbs in salads, so I'm picking some parsley and some mint. When you select your herbs, smell them. They should smell fragrant. The leaves should be bright green. And when you stand the bunches up, they should stand upright and be sprightly and fresh. I couldn't help but notice some beautiful red carrots. Go to the store with an open mind. I didn't really have any intention of putting carrots in this salad, but these look beautiful and fresh, and so I'm gonna get them. This fennel looks great. I love that the stalks are still on. Anytime that you see produce that's in its full form, it's a good sign. Beets that still have their tops on them, that means that they haven't been sitting around too long and that it was pretty close to harvest when you went to buy them. Next, some pears for the salad, just a little bit of sweetness. They should smell fragrant. Look for pears that are free of blemishes. They should be firm because pears are actually harvested before they're ripe. So bring them home, let them ripen for a few days on your countertop, and then put them in the refrigerator until you're ready to eat them, or eat them right away. Let's talk about citrus. When you choose citrus, be sure to choose fruit that's firm but not too hard, which would indicate a thick skin and not a lot of juice. Choose fruit with skin that's free of blemishes, free of spots, and choose lemons without wrinkly skin. That's how they look like when you forget about them in your refrigerator, not how they should look at the grocery store.
Oh, thanks very much. Those are great tips.
Yeah.
One other thing about citrus, heavy for its size.
Yes, that indicates a lot of juice within.
Yeah, a lot of good flesh, and especially grapefruits, because sometimes you get a grapefruit home and
that's the worst, and they're
like
dry.
an inch of skin and very dry inside.
I know. But Fairway was a great place to shop, and I became a little friendly with the produce manager.
Oh,
That's
good.
a tip. And
Is
I
he cute?
asked him.
Is he cute?
Sure. No, he was. He was very, very lovely.
good.
And I was asking him about the bins of mesclun because they had these overflowing bins of greens. And I said, do you really go through all of these bins every single day? They looked so beautiful and fresh. And he said, yep, we do. So, you know, make friends with your produce
It's a very
guy.
active grocery chain.
Yeah.
And if you have a Fairway in your neighborhood, it's a great place to shop.
Go someplace busy.
Today, Nora has agreed to turn found some objects from the grocery store and some very unusual grain into a wonderful, wonderful dish. And this is farro that we're going to be cooking.
This is farro, yes.
And so it's a nice alternative to rice.
It is. It's a whole grain. I love using whole grains for salads like this when you're using fresh produce, when you want to highlight the freshness of your vegetables and your fruits, because it's a great foil for other flavors.
So farro comes like this. It's,
yes.
It's called cereal grain, whole farro. This is from Italy.
Italy.
Yeah.
And you soak it for 20 minutes, and then you boil it for 20 minutes. So it's pretty quick cooking, unlike, you know, brown rice takes a little longer. Wheat berries, you sometimes soak overnight, and then you cook for an hour. So this is nice because it's hearty and nutty.
Is this gluten-free?
I don't believe so.
No. Okay.
So it just came out of the boiling water, and if you would toss it with the zest of 1 lemon, I like to toss it while it's still warm because that really releases the aromatic oils in the zest of the lemon. We're using an organic lemon also. Think about what you're using your produce for and decide whether or not you should go organic, you know, accordingly. I have some of that cooled over here.
As organic as you can be.
I agree.
I think
totally agree.
If there is organic and non-organic right next to each other at the grocery
organic.
store, choose the organic if
Definitely.
you possibly can. I think it's a good way to live. Now, if you don't want to use farro, you could use barley, quinoa, brown rice, or even spelt.
Definitely.
Yeah,
Be creative.
Okay.
Flexible. I'm going to show people how to use fennel. You often see fennel sautéed or braised or roasted, but when you're using it raw, I just, you know, think it's important to know. I cut off the tops and I shaved the outer fibrous parts of the bulb and cut it right in half. And you'll see there's a core inside. And I like to remove that core because it's a little bit tough. If you're roasting it, it'll soften. But if you're eating it raw,
I think you should definitely take it out.
yeah,
even when you're roasting.
it just pops out so nicely
and
like that.
Save that for your juicer.
Okay.
Because in the morning, all this stuff, don't throw this away.
No, no, no.
Just put that into your green juice in the morning, and with the spinach and the cucumber and the pear and whatever else you use.
We are all green juice believers here at Martha Stewart. And then I like to quarter them, and you get this beautiful cross section of the fennel. And so then if you shave it really thinly, you get a nice piece that stays intact. And until you're ready to serve, because fennel does have the tendency to oxidize, I like to put it in ice water and then spin it really dry before you use it.
And by the way, I just wanted to show that I'm slicing the Brussels sprouts.
Great.
It's hard to do by hand.
It is.
And so it's better if you do use a little mandolin like this.
Definitely. And because I made this salad for you probably a year ago before you were going on a plane flight, and I wanted to make something that was really hearty that would stand up with the dressing still on it.
And it was good.
It was good, so I thought we'd bring it back. But Brussels sprouts, you know, they benefit from a little bit of the tenderizing of this lemony dressing that we're going to make, and they soften just a little bit. So we can bring that over here. And Martha, if you want to work on the dressing, and I'll start with the rest of the components of our salad. So this is like a citronette, so it's olive oil and lemon juice.
And ricotta salata.
And ricotta salata, which will add a really nice creaminess.
Which you've grated.
Yes, grated very finely. And I have our cooled farro here, and our nice fennel, which has crisped up. It kind of gets almost curly with that ice water. It's so great. And then 1 small head of radicchio. So really crisp outer leaves again.
So I'm using a ½ cup olive oil, right?
Yes.
And the juice of 1 lemon.
1 lemon,
has to
and
be
you can whisk
fresh.
that all together. Right. And then this is 1 beautiful Bartlett pear, and this is just the difference of pears. I mean, this is what you find in the grocery store that's unripe, and if you let it out for just 2 or 3 days on your counter, it just becomes this beautiful ripe pear. So, you know, give yourself some time and think ahead a little bit. I didn't have an intention to put carrots in the salad, but I saw them and they're beautiful.
Oh, the red-skinned carrots.
Again, if you see something that looks different or interesting, you know, I'm not a carrot in the salad kind of person, but if you shave it lengthwise and it kind of looks elegant and
don't leave the shavings real long because they're hard to eat.
And I kind of like a little bit of the stem on the top. So if you want to throw the dressing
Do we need
on-
all of this, do you think?
Yeah, it's, you know, like I said, the Brussels sprouts are really, you know, they soak up a lot of the dressing, and they get nice and tender. Here you go. You can use this too.
I don't want to bash those pears.
No. And then I like to end with fresh herbs. So after this has been tossed a little bit, I'm going to add a little more of the ricotta salata. It's different when it's not in the dressing because it's fluffier and more, you know, you get a different sense of it when it's
And
not in
mint?
the dressing.
It's
Mint
chiffonade.
and parsley.
Beautiful.
And it's really nice and fresh. And again, just the something about the farro can just pick up all of the other flavors, and it's like a complete meal, really.
Well, it is, and this is really enough. I mean, if you wanted to have a little sandwich alongside this,
Yeah.
that would be nice. But boy, you could
A
just
little bit of salt and pepper.
eat this and enjoy.
Definitely.
Oh, here, give me my plate. Look,
Great.
that's my lunch.
Nice looking. Yeah, and you know, use what's
Yeah.
fresh in your grocery store. Trust your instincts. If something doesn't look great, you know, be flexible.
That was really good. Well, it's a beautiful, beautiful meal and very healthy. Thank you very much, Nora. This is a lot of fun.
Coming up, Master Chef Michel Roux shares 2 classic dessert recipes that everyone should know.